Well, hello to you. I'm going to make a new pot of it's meat stew. I call it mush, is what I do, but in Spain they call it a meat stew, but I call it mush because it's real soft. Now I use a lot of vegetables, and I'm going to show you what all I use. I got me a can of mixed vegetables here. I buy these by the cases, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a can of mixed vegetables in. Then I am going to put a can of red beans and rice in. Okay. And now I'm going to add diced potatoes. Get them all out of there right quick for you. And we got to break up this chicken, this rice and beans. You got to kind of smooth them out, break them up. And after I do that, I'm going to take a big can of chicken breasts. I use canned chicken breasts. Now you use the broth and all that's in it, and you pour it all in there, okay? Kind of break up your chicken, because these are big old huge chunks. That's what I like about that canned chicken breast. You get your money's worth on this chicken, I can guarantee you that. You really do. And it's just wonderful. Okay, next, I add a can of tomato sauce, and I put it in just like that. And now you're going to add 1 can of sliced carrots. All right, and now we are going to add 1 can. I love these things. This is squash, yellow squash with Vidalia onion. And now you're going to put that in there real good. And after you've done that, you are going to take and you're going to add your minced garlic. I always use this. This is very good stuff, I tell you. I don't know if you use it or not, but it smells so good, and it just makes your food so much wonderful. So I use a lot of this now, as you can tell. I put a lot of that in. After you do that, you want to kind of get your squash and everything kind of mixed down in there real good. Leave your spoon right there for a second. And now, what we are going to do is we are going to add what I love very much to use. It's blue salt from Iran. People call it Iran, but I call it Iran. And this is real good. And I'm using this. What you want to do, you want to take a few sprinkles around your spoon. I got my spoon right there in the middle there. And you put that in. You don't need very much. A little goes a long, long way. Believe me, it does. I just love this little thing right here. It's got a magnetic bottom on it. And this is Iranian blue salt. And now, we can get our spoon out of there right quick. Get that spoon dried off because we're going to need it. And what we're going to do now is we are going to add a pinch of cumin. You don't need very much. A little bit goes a long, long way. I'm going to use a little bit more because I couldn't reach far enough down in there. Okay, now, after you put that in there, what you're going to do now is you're going to take your onion powder, and you're going to take a dash of onion powder. You're going to put that in there. Then you're going to come over here, and you're going to get your thyme. And once again, you use a little bit of thyme. You don't have to use a whole lot. Just use what you got. And after I've done that, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my oregano leaves. And I am going to add a lot of these. I love oregano leaves. These things are so delicious when they simmer. When it starts simmering, it smells so good. So very, very good. Okay, and now I always add my Italian seasoning to this. This is just good, good stuff. It gives it such a wonderful aroma. And as you cook it, you want to let it simmer. You never boil your food. Don't do that. Just barely let it bubble. Okay, and now I'm going to add my pink Himalayan sea salt. I always use this salt. This is the only kind of salt I use. I put that in there. It's got a lot of minerals and vitamins and things like that. Well, minerals mainly in the pink Himalayan sea salt. And then, of course, I use paprika. And I like paprika. So I put my paprika in. And now we're going to take some granulated garlic powder. And what we're going to do here is we're going to add some of this in here. You just want to kind of sprinkle it on there like that. Then after you've done that, get your garlic out of the way there. There you go. Now you want to put your basil leaves in. You always want to put you some basil in. It's real good. It enhances the flavor. And the aroma is just absolutely out of this world. Now, you want to use your organic cardamom. This is delicious. I love it in my mush. Well, meat stews, people call it, but I call it mush. And then, of course, I use my cracked black pepper. And this is my little pepper meal that I got from Turkey. And I got some down here in the bottom. I'm going to put a few sprinkles more. All right, and now that we've done that, here comes the best part that I love. And that is my organic turmeric powder. Now, I use a lot of this turmeric powder in my stews, my mush. See here, I put a lot of that in. Because I'm going to tell you something, this stuff is so good for you. And it gives such a delicious flavor. I can't begin to tell you enough about the health benefits of turmeric. And I always do it. And on every pot of meat stew, mush that I make, that's what I do. And what we're going to do now is we're going to turn our fire on, well, the electric stove on. We're going to turn it on to extreme low heat, and we're going to let this bubble and simmer. And I'm going to get the lid and put on the top of it in a minute. Right now, I'm going to stir it all together real good and get it all mixed up in there together. You want to do it like this, just a little bit at a time. Just kind of get it going in there. You work it around, and you just let it go. And keep in mind now, this is going to be bubbling, and it's going to be a cooking. And while it's a bubbling and a cooking, all them spices are going to spread out. And they're going to mix in really, really well. I mean, they're going to be fantastic. You will be very, very happy with the results of your meat stew if you do it like that. But there is such a good thing in this stew that I'm making. It's nutritious. It's so good for you. And the taste is just absolutely scrumptious. You add a little bit of water, not too much. And then you continue to stir, kind of work it in. You don't want to stir it hard. You just barely kind of work it like that. You want to work it all in, all your turmeric, your black pepper, your garlic, all your salts, all your seasonings. You want to work them in very carefully. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this simmer, and it's going to take probably about 2 hours for it to slow bubble, maybe an hour and a half. But I wanted to show you this, and this is a different recipe. I make a pot of this every week, different recipes. So listen, please hit the like button and do subscribe. I'm Grandpa Hickory, and I wanted to share my recipe of this meat stew. I use red beans and rice in it, and it is just, you ought to smell it. It smells so good, and as it starts cooking, it will really smell good. Well, listen, happy cooking to everyone, and y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next video.